Libraries are incredibly important places, whether it's a public library, an academic library, school library. They encourage people to read. They provide safe places for people to go. Within a university, I think the library is very, very much the heart of the campus, of the university, and we just support so many people.
It tells so many stories, but there are stories that each of us can relate to, not only as academics, as researchers, as students, as postgraduates, but also as human beings, because it brings together people that you don't know from around the world.
The loss of a library at an academic institution, or any library for that matter, is a huge loss to its community.
This is a space that broke people's hearts when the fire ravaged it.
I was very affected by the fire, and I think on a personal level, it tested me in my ability to really endure what was required. Our special collections were destroyed and were damaged. We lost the building, which was historical and very meaningful to a lot of people. On a more practical level, we lost our office space. We lost the infrastructure that allows us to function as a library and as an archive.
We had also the Pearson building and two residences, the men's residence and Fuller Hall, as well as La Grotto and Carpel House.
It was really the reading room and the upper galleries that were destroyed by the fire, and that was where most of the African Studies collection was shelved. So it meant that about 45% of the African Studies collection went up in smoke. And then in the very upper galleries, there was a large collection of government publications, which were also destroyed. A lot of that material was unique, and we're not ever going to be able to replace it.
The emptiness of the space at the moment is extremely poignant. It's a stark reality of what we've lost. It evokes a sense of emptiness when one steps into it.
It was a huge collection, ranging from materials from all over Africa. A lot of them were unique. No other library in the world had them, and we had researchers coming from all over the world to use the materials.
Whenever we do have occasion to chat to alumni and students and staff who actually went through their years as students using this space, it comes alive through its memories.
In the other part of the libraries who would come here just for the beauty and the ambiance. People came from all over to search their genealogy.
But of course, no building is ever empty because it is imbued by its memories and its former purpose.
I think for me, it comes back when I see burnt material, when you see manuscript material that's singed around the edges. And then also, towards the end of last year, we went back into the reading room, and just seeing that hollow shell also just brings it all back. So it's not very far from the surface. I don't think any of us will ever view fires in ever the same way again.
The memories that it provided for us will always make it beautiful regardless of what the fire did.
Immediately after the fire, we believed that everything had been destroyed, because when you looked at the fire, it was hard to believe that anything could have survived. So it was the most incredible thing to discover that the basements of the Jagger Library and parts of the shelving of the library itself were intact, or at least salvageable. Regarding the status of archival collections, that mean a great deal to both the families and individuals who deposited them, as well as the researchers who access them and for whom this is, the lifeblood of their research.
When you actually went into the library, into the building and down the first ramp into the upper level of a basement, really, it's called the interspace, and you could actually just see that those books were fine. They had suffered very little water damage. That's when you really start to feel that there's hope. And then when the volunteers came up and the overwhelming response from library staff, from the volunteers, and just saw the human chains moving the material out.
People turned up every day. There wasn't a day where we didn't have sufficient volunteers. We were generally oversubscribed. We have extra people, how might we use them? Because we don't want to turn away the services that they are so generously offering.
Thousands of volunteers coming in every day, looking for activities, volunteering of their time. I think that was one of the most special experiences of my life, seeing how people came together to help.
If anyone has to say to me now, Nikki, you need to be part of a team that's going to pull out 13,000 crates out of a basement where even though you got the occupational health and safety go ahead, it's still risky, it's damp, it's moldy, air has to be pumped in. You have to carry crates up to 20 kilograms. You have to manage COVID at the same time. I would have laughed and said, go and make up another story. We stuck our heads down. We were resilient. No matter what came at us, we knew that there was an end in sight.
What can we preserve? What can we do to ensure that that which has been entrusted to us continues to drive our purpose?
It's been a year since the fire, and it's been quite a journey to get up to where we are now. And since then, there's been lots of work, not only to do the cleaning, but also to salvage the materials that was in the basement here in the Jagger, and to find a safe place for them off campus.
We have an archivist who works full-time on the architectural material, working through it, reconciling the collections. We've also been setting up conservation work at Maitland House, and I'm sitting right in front of an area which has been utilized for the initial batch of conservation of architectural material that was severely water damaged. It's also very important to realize that this is a process that will take us a few years. And, when it's possible, we hope to return the material to circulation. However, we are still faced with the infrastructural requirements for providing archival services go beyond just having the boxes. We need to be able to provision for a new reading room, which we are in the process of doing. And I think that the team of archivists here are really passionate about what they do. And I'm proud to be working with people who take it personally, who really, really feel the loss and have been working so hard to try and come out on the other side.
This space will rise up into whatever else is going to be, and a new generation of people and ourselves will come back and create more memories.
Somebody asked me yesterday, can you see the light at the end of the tunnel? And I said, yes, I definitely can see the exit of the tunnel. And so you can imagine our excitement, albeit underpinned by some of the losses, the anxieties and the pain. But I think there's an excitement as to what could this future mean to us and how it unfolds.
As we go through this process towards building back better, I think let's use it as a community to reimagine the campus, to reimagine the Jagger and the library space. And I think that's a huge opportunity.